Howdy y'all, this is Diwari with Uniquely Average Gamers, and my guild and I were playing Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn the other day. We were farming Leviathan Extreme mode for the weapon drop. A few people could use the upgrade. This is how we do the fight. We always make sure that the paladin is our off tank because that's going to come into play later. The boss is going to start out tank and spank. I am a warrior tank. We use one warrior, one paladin. Some groups use two paladins. You use two warriors. That's, should look into getting a paladin. But the big thing is that the boss is tank and spank from the beginning, and then he or she is going to dive under the raft. Then you're going to see a jet of water appear. Run away from the jet of water. Run away from the jet of water. If you do that, you have figured out literally half of this fight.
Didn't even move.
Alright, now the boss is going to pop up. He's a head and a tail. You're going to have your off-tank pick up the tail. You're going to have your healers marked, and they're going to be away from the group and divided from one another, because they are going to have an AoE emanating from them. The first stage of this fight is going to begin, and two ads are going to pop. You're going to see your two tanks just pick them up. Pick them up, and you're going to be fine. DPS them down. Have your DPS split, so that way your magic is on your head, and your physical is on your tail. This is imperative. A few important things here. Like I mentioned, we split up our DPS. We have our magic on our head, and we have our physical on the tail. The reason for that is because if you have your physical on your head, you're not going to be able to do any damage, and all arrows that bards cast are going to be reflected, so don't do that. Boss is going to dive under the raft again. You're going to see the plumes again. Principle's the same. Dodge them. He's going to do two of those, and then he's going to have the slam, which is going to slide you towards him. The principle is the same. Just dodge the plumes and you'll be fine. This is going to initiate the second stage of the fight, if you will. You're going to see a ad pop up, and that's where your off tank, like I mentioned earlier, your paladin, is going to go over there and pretty much lock down the ad. DPS him down. You do not want to use your cooldowns for this fight, or for this little ad guy. The cooldowns are going to come in the next fight. If this ad is not locked down, he's going to have an AoE that's going to mind control your entire group.
That's on me.
You lose control of your character for about 6 to 7 seconds. That obviously is bad. So you want to keep him locked down as good as you possibly can. But once he's dead, continue DPSing the boss, who is going to dive under the deck once again. Now, the next part, like I mentioned, you want to save your cooldowns for. See that bar that's next to where your quests were initially? It's you have an amount out of 100, X out of 100. You need to be paying attention to that in this next little ad spawnage, if you will. So you got another 2 little vertical line attacks, and then he's going to slam the deck again. Stay away. It pops back up. You're going to see 4 different spooms pop up. Not only is their name incredibly fun to say, but you have the honor of having them drain that little meter we were talking about. So it's going to drain relatively quickly. You need your DPS to just focus these things down. This is where you're going to blow your cooldowns and just destroy them. And we have our tanks just completely disregard the boss at this point. At least I do. You can pretty much keep the boss if you're a warrior by using Steel Cyclone and Flash if you need to. If you need to. At this point you have so much. It's insane. So much aggro. But the ads are going to explode when they die. So that's, it can cause a little bit of damage. Not too much. Forgot to mention that the boss is always going to have a move that's going to cause a tidal wave to go across the ship. That's not really that damaging, but if you get hit when he goes across these decks, the boss is going to apply a stacking debuff that's going to increase water damage taken. Obviously, you're going to start seeing people taking significantly more damage, more stress on the healers, and that can lead to wipes. Once your 4th spoom is down, take a look at that meter again. Because that meter needs to be at 27 out of 100 at least when the boss goes down the next time. Now the meter is always refilling. The thing is that when those spooms are up, they're draining it so quickly that it can't refill to outpace that drainage. So you can kill them and then allow it to build up a little bit because you need to be at 27 out of 100. The boss is going to dive under the deck. When the boss dives under the deck again, you're going to notice it's going to be an elongated strike, one of the longer vertical strikes. Now it can happen on either side of the boat, so just keep an eye on that. When that happens, you're going to need to hit the switch that has become active at this point. Assign someone to hit that switch. That's going to protect you from this uber beautiful move that causes a, 1 metric crap ton of damage if you do not have the shield up. That is where you will wipe. It also destroys the rails. When the rails are off, if you get knocked into the water by the vertical strikes or the slam, you're out. You're done. It's like Titan. You're just done. There's no recovering you. You do have the ability to resurrect as you're sliding off of the ship if you accept it. That happens to one of us later on. But you're going to notice that the phases, the little stages, are going to be repeating themselves. So now you're going to have 2 ads pop up again, but they're going to be from the south side of the raft this time. Now, the order is going to be different. You're still going to start with 2 ads, but after that, they're going to swap it up on you a little bit. So make note of that.
I now have an audio alert for, Rowan uses blood for blood.
How many times has it killed me? Many.
Enough.
Enough to be put on the tab. I don't know why it hits me for so much, even though I have the harpoon. Stay in the center. Way. Ooh.
Now you're going to notice that instead of that little ad, or rather the larger ad that has the mind control AoE attack popping up, you're going to see these spoons pop again. They're going to switch phases, if you will. We save our Black Mage and our Summoner limit break for this part, because we like shoving a meteor so far up the... We really like taking down the spoons with the meteor, because we like killing them quickly, because it allows our meter to not really be phased.
Spoons are up.
Casting.
First one's going down.
Ready? This one's gonna go down too. Get ready for heals.
Alright, now after a little bit you're gonna see these little 4 blue orbs appear, and they're gonna just book it to the center. We have our paladin pick them up. It's important that it's the paladin that picks them up, and the reason for that is because the paladin has hallowed ground, which makes the paladin immune to their mechanic. What their mechanic is that they're going to have a massive AoE when they die. They don't have a lot of health, and when they die, like I mentioned, they explode, and the farther you are away from the explosion, the less damage you take. The paladin's going to pop hollow ground since he's in the epicenter of the explosion, and survive the hit. And then good times will be had by all. Then the boss is going to be very familiar for a little bit, dives up the raft, dodge the strikes across the raft, and you're going to see that you need to hit the switch again. Like I mentioned earlier, just assign someone to the switch. If you miss the switch, then everybody wipes, and you've already made it this far, and then we all lose. And you know what? Then we're upset. We don't like that.
I wish I could say the same.
Converter's up.
Okay. Going to the center.
What now? Is he slammed now?
He's gonna slam. Get ready, because the tail side is where the Sahagin will be. Okay, the Sahagin will be on the right side.
Alright, then you're going to notice this time around, Sahagin's going to pop out. Like I mentioned before, this is the mind control guy, so you want to have your paladin lock him down immediately. And then your DPS blows him up, just destroy him, nuke him with everything you've got. If you've got a single bar limit break, use it. We don't here, but you know, that's just us. Once he's dead, you pretty much switch back to the boss. The boss might dive under the raft a couple times, dodge him as normal, but that's it. Once he's dead, once you've DPS down the boss, you've done it. Enjoy the loot. I do recommend farming this guy because his weapons are pretty good depending on your class. And by pretty good, I mean up there with some Allegan. So it's a good fight. Keep your head on your shoulders. You'll be fine.
One.
Gonna only do one. He's gonna do another one. Slim's dead.
Left side.
Side.
Take it, Slim, quick.
Oh
Nice.
my god.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
I don't think I was actually gonna go off.
Slide
Kill it, kill it,
off
kill it,
the
kill it, kill
deck.
it.
Burning everything. Burn him. Burn him to the ground. Congrats, everyone.
We're not done yet. Kill it.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, burn him! Burn him! Son!
There we go.
All right, and so that's a dead Leviathan. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be posting a lot more raid footage in the future,
We can actually use.
Hey, Diwari, you wanna go do Titan?
including Titan, and I do not like Titan.
Oh,
Have a good one.